Hello, my cross-stitch friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda Mae, and this is my channel, Ardith Design, where we celebrate all things counted cross-stitch, sustainable stitching, and making all the things. This is Luna Moon. Sleeping over here is Loki Apple. It is the first day of the meteorological autumn here in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm in the Mid-Atlantic of the United States. We went out for a walk just in time for it to start pouring down rain, and little Loki Apple has not recovered yet. Yes, we dried him off and tried to put a sweater on him, but he just wanted to curl up and sleep. I don't blame him. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, I am so happy you came back to talk and celebrate counted cross stitch, a wonderful hobby, craft, and lifestyle. If you are a needleworker, new to the craft or decades in, I would say at this point it's a lifestyle. Okay, I am going to show you what I have been stitching on this week. I want to kind of give you some ideas if you're not sure about autumn or fall or Halloween stitching, some patterns that I have in my collection. And yes, they're not the newest, but maybe get an idea, maybe something that you would like to stitch, or maybe it will remind you of, oh, I stitched that back in the day, or, oh, I can find that on the secondary market for really cheap. I'm gonna go buy it. So I am happy to be a cross-stitch enabler. If you need my permission, please don't go into debt, but you know, if you've got a little bit of money and you can support a local needlework shop or a small business that are selling their secondhand charts, you know, that'd be great. Okay, we're going to get started with what I worked on this week stitching-wise. I put up new pictures and I got stuff kind of tilted here. I did not have any official finishes that I can show you. I had some finishes for publication that's coming out, but I can't show those to you. Nope. I gotta wait for the publishers, and when they say it's time, then I can show, and it's so hard. It's hard to keep that huge. I just want to show everyone. Like, I want to show everyone your cute little face. Yes. Okay, the first project that I worked on is my Prairie Schooler fairy, not fairy. Oh, someone asked, Prairie Schooler fairies right here. This I'm going to show is one of the Prairie Schoolers. It's a night flight. It is wrinkled because I stitch in hand and I just don't iron before my videos. Please forgive my disheveled nature. I'm a mom of 2 young children, 2 rascal pugs, and I'm happy to iron, you know, sometimes. Okay, so here we go. I stitched this with the 3371 for the houses. I've been working on that. And then this orange is a fun orange from Victorian Motto Sampler Shop. Yeah, I'm going to gloat on myself for a little bit here. Because I love Halloween so much, Nancy Turner from Victorian Motto, she special dyed the orange for Purdy Orange. It's one of my patterns I had. It is used in Saltwater Taffy Terry and also in Banana Pants Purdy. I'm using it now in my Prairie Schooler because why not? And 3371. It is in my Boo Bees apiary bag, because I love it. I have a mistake in one of the houses, but I am just gonna persevere through until I get onto the other side and decide if I would like to fix it or not. I also don't know, this pattern calls for a fence on all 4 sides. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put the fence in or just have the witch, the moon, the homes, and call it a day, because apparently that's all I like to stitch is the witch, the moons, the homes, and then call it quits. I don't know. It's nothing against Prairie Schooler. I think her designs are like timeless. She has designs out that have been not out of print, but have been in production since the mid-80s. Mama here was born in the mid-80s, so we'll just put it that way. All right, the next project I worked on, I did a significant amount of stitching on this piece. It is in the book, the Home for the Holidays book. I believe this is still in print. You can find this at your local needlework shop. This is the cardinal that I've decided to stitch, and I love it. Let me show you what I've done. I have this much done. So I had the bird done last week when I showed you the bird, and then I added some of the white snowflakes and then some of the foliage. And yes, this piece is quite large. I still have not added the French writing, the you know, spirit of the holidays phrase on the bottom, and I still have some more of the leaves to put in. I am doing the Trenway silk, the dark green and the light green, and then I'm also using the DMC, and it's really lovely. I'm hoping I can get this finished sooner rather than later and have it ready for this holiday season. I am so excited. I love the season of twinkle lights and the smell, after pumpkin spice, the smell of, you know, cinnamon and chestnuts, you know, roasting on all that stuff. I'm not going to sing. I promise I won't sing. I also worked on another Blackbird Designs, and I believe this came back into print. And it is the Fond Hearts by Maggie Bononomy. This is lovely. I love it for its Valentine's-y, heartsy, wartsy, pink, cutesy, wootsy stuff. And it was the first project where I ever embarked on over one stitching. And yes, I have been using a little hoop. I have been using a little hoop that I got at the thrift store for 25 cents. It is not a Duchess hoop, but it's got a little bit of a spring, and it's got the felt around it, and it's called a felt grip hoop. Made in the USA. I don't know what company made it, but I love it for over one. So I worked a little bit. I have 2 needles loaded, and I had done this already, and this is where I worked over on this way. Now, my method of stitching over one is I put it in my hoop, and I do the stab and stick method, versus where in hand I do more of the sewing method. So it's a different rhythm, and I find that I can't do over one stitching very long before my wrist starts hurting. I have it in the hoop and doing this. I think it looks lovely. It's amazing how you can capture cursive writing with over one stitching. I used a combination of all different threads for this, and I think it's going to be really lovely if and when I ever get it done. I literally have the Smyrna crosses to do and the rest of the over one, which I think it's like 3 lines of over one here. And then I will be done with this piece. Hopefully I can have it done for Valentine's Day 2021. Again, the only time I really use a hoop, and I like it. Again, it's something as a new stitcher I just got to get used to, and that's okay. I'm gonna move my projects over here. I worked, oh my goodness, it seems like I worked a lot on blackbirds this week, because the next project I worked on is a blackbird. I worked some more on Strawberry Fields Forever. I kind of feel like it's not even worth showing you how much I did, because I only got a little bit more done on the gate. And I think that gray, it's actually Lexington green, which really throws me off, because yeah, it's Lexington green is that gray color. It's a green gray. It's really lovely. You hear that snoring? Took him for that walk in the rain, boy. Tuckered them out. It's almost sweater season. It's pumpkin pie spice season now. Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm one of those. I'm one of those. Okay, the last piece I want to share with you is a new stitch that I am doing. It is a oldie but a goodie, and I'm excited to show you. Okay, it is a vintage pattern by Sitka Stitches. This is dated 1982. It is titled Totem. The stitch count is 115 by 115. And the address of the designer, Gail, is up in Alaska. She charted it with DMC or with needlework. I'm doing the DMC, black, the rust, the 920, turquoise, and then beige. I did substitute out. I'm doing the turquoise. I'm doing vintage aqua, which the conversion is 3849. This is from Victorian Motto. I am doing, this is DMC 783. It is on my tag that I made, and you can, the printable is in my book, Stitching Love and Kindness. It is from an old Valentine's postcard from the turn of the 20th century, the printable. And then I'm using 3371 instead of black. And yeah, so let me show you what I have so far. This is how far I have, and his eyes are not in yet, but I am really excited to work on this piece. This pattern is circa early 80s, and I want to remind all of our younger viewers that many cross-stitch charts before 1990 were done all by hand. Home computing and cross-stitch software was not terribly prevalent. Even published books, many of the patterns are done in handwritten. So this is a handwritten chart. It's been photocopied. It's on custom large paper. It's a legitimate chart, but it does have handwritten symbols here. I'm not going to show you the whole chart. I'm just showing you like the bottom here. Anyway, it's easy to read, but just keep that in mind that a lot of these vintage stitches that you work on could be handwritten. I would like to also let you all know that the reason I decided to stitch a vintage pattern, this is Sitka Stitches, was while several thousand stitchers will be working on the celebration piece for the 400 years of celebrating the Mayflower landing, I am working on this as a counterpoint. I want to honor the First Nations, the First Peoples, the Indigenous peoples of North America. I want to also remind everyone that needlework existed in the Americas before the Mayflower ever landed. And by stitching a chart like this, I'm hoping to send out that good energy and that good reminder that honors needlework in the Americas from an Indigenous perspective. If you are interested, I saw several these patterns. She had like the orca whales and sea otters, puffin birds, the Sitka Stitches, and that was on eBay. I believe you could probably find them elsewhere or look into your collection if you've been stitching a long time. I want to also talk about a couple other designs that I found as just an idea or a thought if you are interested in stitching a design like me. So I went through all of my charts and magazines and stuff, and I was super excited. This is a magazine called Classic CrossStitch, a needle art collection, and I believe it was put out by Hirschner's. And this is September 1991, volume 4, issue 4, okay? And I was pleasantly surprised to find this pattern here, and it's part of the Northwest series. And I did some research. I do not have the back issues with me, but I did some research. The orcas here are in issue 3, and it's called 4 Whales. And then here, this totem, I believe it is A Bear Lives Here. And that would be in volume 4, issue 2. So it was part of a 3, it looks like a 3-part series. So issues 2, 3, and 4, volume 4 of Classic Cross Stitch. I tried to research to see if volume 3 was available because I would like to purchase it, and it's not. I know you can do a save search on eBay and stuff, so I just wanted to show that as an option. I know too that there are several patterns out there that are like this. I'm not sure if the designer herself was, if he is Indigenous or not, but there are other ideas. I wanted to also show you that the Halloween, because I love Halloween, this issue, that Classic Cross Stitch, they also had this cute trick-or-treat bag. I wanted to show you. I thought it was cool how they did the stitching of the ghost and then the variegation of the trick-or-treat and the face there. So I'm going to show you some classic, old school, back in the day charts that I have from my magazines I have in my collection, if that spurs you on for autumn stitching, Halloween stitching, and maybe bird stitching, because I have some bird stuff to show you too. All right, so there is Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. Who doesn't want a witch with a cross stitch face? This was cross stitch on Ada, but you could do it on linen. Why not? This is from the September-October issue, 1994. There's some really cute little designs in here. Don't write off the 90s. I will say, I think we need to bring cross-stitch jewelry back. I want to make this happen. I think I need some little pumpkin earrings, right? Little wizard bear. Have a spooktacular Halloween. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? Look at that little plaid bow. So there's a lot of really fun things. This is Christmas wise, but I liked the 3D nature, the stand-ups of the cross stitch too. So think about maybe do a Halloween stitch and then make it a stand-up. Here's another classic from 1995, and it is a scarecrow. Again, autumn, celebrating, you know, the harvest and crafts. Here's a Home Sweet Home. I thought this was really pretty. In this scarecrow issue. And the spine tingling hat Halloween. Again, really cute. It's got the button arms. This one, the next one I want to show you is Cross Stitch and Needlework from 1996. And look at that haunted house with the 3-dimensional, the windows. I believe it's all cross stitch. I don't know how they do the windows though, but it's really cool. They have some other like little treat bags and looks like ribbon embroidery. Really cool stuff. The ribbon embroidery is something, you know, because I need more hobbies, is something else that I would like to look into. This is also the Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine. Not only does it have this cool house, it also has the celebration sampler for the 250-year celebration of DMC, the thread company. So that is also in this issue. When going through a lot of these issues, you can find some real gems, and I think that's why I have a classic magazine problem collection library. All right, these are newer ones, but just as a quick little reminder, every year Just CrossStitch puts out their Halloween issue. This is the 2017. Here's 2018. My 2019 is somewhere. My 2020, you've seen that one. It's got the cat on the front. All right. I have more vintage stitches to show you, but I'm going to do some shameless self-advertising. If you like autumn as well, you can do Booby's Apiary. I also designed the Frightfully Sweet Bouquet, stitched in Sulky, but I do provide a DMC color conversion, and that's on the gunmetal gray. I also have the Frightfully Sweet Honey. That, well, it was fun. Also silky. I also have some, this little notebook. I did the illustration on this. This came out, I believe, 2018, this notebook. And then I have this notebook I created, and it is a mixed media art of a historic, like a costume of a woman as a bat, and then I added some stuff, because what is scarier to a needleworker than blood falling on your needlework? Oh, so scary. So it's the back of it. This is a Halloween sketch and stitch. This is it's one of my graph paper journals like this, where you can graph out designs on paper, or, you know, have your 2-year-old also draw on it, because why not? So it's really fun. Right here, this is one of the designs that I did in my book, Stitching Love and Kindness, and I charted it out in this before I stitched it, and blah, blah, blah. Also, don't discount the gorgeousness of vintage Halloween books, children's books, for illustrations and cutesy wootsy stuff. Like, look at that little kitty cat. So cute. I love looking at this stuff. All right, back to cool stitching stuff. Samplers, Leisure Arts, all the different ones, but down here is a cute little Halloween one. Now, the next set of stuff I'm going to show you is a combination of autumn and bird ideas for things that you can stitch to celebrate the native plants and animals and stuff of the Americas. I got this book from the library, the Mid-Atlantic Birds Backyard Guide, because I will have to thank Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches for solidifying my love of birds. She did this. I blame her. And by blame, I mean thank. Thank you, Stephanie. So I checked this out. It has a bunch of the different birds of the Mid-Atlantic region. Like, who doesn't love a red-bellied woodpecker? So with that, here we go. Everlastings. Look at that pretty scene. The assemblage of simple posies on sage green fabric. Add a border and a flowing title, and the result is a charming accents that will last for generations. That is in CrossStitch! Exclamation point there. Magazine from number 18. I don't see a date on the front, but there's a little carousel. If you would like to stitch samplers, I thought this one was really cool because I love a log cabin sampler. Isn't that so cute? You could do a color conversion, not mat it, and make something super duper cute. I love a good log cabin. That is in Cross Quick Magazine, April, May 1989. And it's the log cabin sampler, or you could stitch that cat sitting in a bowl, a mouse bowl. Just saying. If you like bees, I want to give shout outs to everyone who said they love bees, want to stitch bees, love all the bees. I found this cute blur stitch when I was going through my collection, and this is the proverb, you know, pleasant words are like a honeycomb, but I thought that was really pretty. If you like the bees. And this is in the CrossStitch Magazine. Oh look, it's a Thanksgiving sampler on the front. It's corn, the three sisters, corn, squash, and beans. Yep. So super fun. This is October, November 1989. Okay. You want to put a bird on it. There's always Ann Orr's Charted Designs. What's interesting about this is it's actually like blocks of color. Here, I'll show you the inside here. And then you read, and you would pick your colors and go accordingly from that. This is published with the cooperation of the Center for History of American Needlework. So it's mostly in black and white, but some colored stuff. Some really pretty designs, Dover Publications. Another Ann Orr full color chart designs. Again, it's all on that graph where it looks like she used color pencils or watercolor and filled it in. Because again, computers and charting software has not been around that long. If you like a good Currier and Ives, why not pull out the vintage, and you could stitch all the farm seasons with the farmhouses. Here, is that the same on the back? Yeah, it's the same on the back. I have not seen anyone, and I've never seen one of these in real life. And that's by the CrossStitch Creations. They also have the winter scene here, which is lovely. I like the way the sky looks. And then this one, it's got a dam and a water wheel and the willow by the water. Really lovely. This is a collection from An Early Country Morning. It's a Vanessa Ann collection, and I grabbed this to show you just some fun little scenes, and some would argue that these are a little dated and not as timeless, but I mean, who doesn't love a good vegetable memo board on Black Ada? I mean, garlic, mushrooms, all the things, right? Stitch the Harvest, Eat the Rainbow. Here, I like, oh, there it is. It's the corn stalks and the pumpkin fields. That's why I grabbed it. Really lovely. Again, the Early Country Morning booklet. This is dated 1982. A D. Morgan design. She was an artist, and a lot of her stuff has been translated into cross stitch. This is more of a winter scene, but I still grabbed it because I thought it was really lovely. There's the house, the smoke, and the lovely word. Okay, now I think, yeah, Roger. This is leaflet 263. Leaflet 263. The autumnal scene here and the barn. I also really liked this, the water, the drops of water. That looks really cool. Give me a friend with whom I can be silent. The falling leaves, and there's dragonflies. We saw our first dragonflies this past week in our garden, and the kids freaked out. I freaked out, and they wanted to know about dragonflies more, and I let them know that it's a sign of good luck. So look at that. Isn't that so pretty? Again, I've never seen that in real life. This is the chart. Obviously, I got it secondhand. Okay, I think most of these next ones are put a bird on it that I want to show. The State Bird Collection. Again, where did I put that bird one? Over here. Did I put it over here? This one, this bird. So what I really like is showing the different so this eagle here was actually designed by Ursula Michael. Isn't that cool? So, or you could stitch this eagle. all the different styles to celebrate, or not. If you want to stitch, you know, the mockingbird for Arkansas, or the brown pelican. I didn't know the brown pelican was Arkansas. Baltimore Oriole, I knew that because I'm in Maryland. I better know that at this point. So there's a bunch of different things that you could stitch. The ruffled goose. I mean, who doesn't love a ruffled goose? I want to know. Okay. This is not necessarily cross stitch, but I thought it was really pretty. A complete alphabet embellished with birds and flowers, charted decorative initials. This is also by the Dover Press, and it's all the hand-drawn charts, black and white hand-drawn charts. And let's see if you can see. So cross stitch with the different initials. Lovely ideas. Here is Feathered Friends, a collection of 16 birds for cross stitch. And there's like the cardinal and all these really fun different designs. You can make a bell pole. Speaking of bell poles, if you like Halloween and you like bell poles, you need to look at Satsuma Street. Jody Rice, her new Halloween bell pole. Holy guacamole. It is amazing. I'll just say that. Go check her out. Okay. And then the nestlings. Carolyn Shores Wright. And these are really pretty too. And it looks like these were all model stitched on like a 14 count Aida, like an oatmeal Aida. Lovely. Look at these cute ones here. So again, put a bird on it. I'm so happy you joined me this week. Like I said, I did so much secret stitching that I can't show you. So instead, I showed you cute sleeping, snoring pugs and some ideas for autumn and seasonal stitching for the month of September into October. I will say that the Just CrossStitch Magazine, the 2020 ornament issue, just popped on the Just CrossStitch website. Yes, I've been watching for it. Why? Because I'm in it. So I can't wait to show you that design that is in the magazine. At least I hope they put it in the magazine. I don't know. They say, you know, they have publishing discretion on whether or not a design is included. So I hope I'm not speaking where I have to backpedal and say, I'm not in the magazine after all. But fingers crossed, they put me in. My design is non-traditional Christmas holiday. And yeah, so I'm hoping you all like it. It's different. What else do I have to share? Oh, okay, I'm all done with stitching. So if you are all done listening about cross stitch, thank you for coming. If you want to stick around for a few more minutes, I will tell you that I am on day two of homeschooling, doing kindergarten, and then my 3-year-old is along for the ride. Day 2 of homeschooling, resounding success. I'm pretty stoked. I loved school and math and all that stuff when I was little, so I'm just trying to really encourage. I feel like I'm excited, so that makes them excited. But the school year, our curriculum is all about all around the world. We're starting with North America and we're traveling. We're going to travel to the map. I bought that huge big watercolor map I showed a couple videos back, the tapestry. So we're talking about all 7 continents, islands, and if they have questions, you know, pointing at the map, I am trying my best to explain and talk about that. They were interested in Greenland, so we talked about that. It's part of North America. They also pointed, there's an island archipelago of 190 islands north of Russia. It's part of Russia, but you know, on the map she's asked about it, and I said, so we looked it up, the Joseph Franz land, and reading all about that and the Arctic wildlife, and she's already decided she wants to do a report on the Arctic fox. So life is good. am looking forward to some of my designs that I will be releasing at some point. But for right now, I'm going to be still making videos, but also doing the homeschool stuff too. Let me know below if you like hearing about that stuff. I've been utilizing the Maryland, the public library. They have an express pickup where you can't physically go into the building, but you can check out books online. They let you know when they are available. You schedule a time, you can go pick them up. It's been fantastic. And I'm happy to announce that Carroll County has also gone into be a fine-free library, F-I-N-E, fine, money free. So they're waiving everyone's existing balances if they have them, because they realize that many times you're limiting access to knowledge by having that barrier, that financial barrier, because, you know, stuff happens. Books get turned in late. There's a lot of reasons. So they're forgiving all of that in order to help initiate more engagement and having more people check out books in this time that we are in. So I am very proud of my local county library system for doing that. Check your area for books. There are several awesome craft books, quilting books, needle felting books, because you all know you need more hobbies, right? I checked out several that I will be able to show in the upcoming videos. I haven't been able to pick them up yet, but just think, there's the resources here in the United States, and I'm hoping abroad there are resources for knowledge and crafting affordably and sustainably during this time. So much stuff. Okay, I thank you all again for joining me. I want you to know that you matter, okay? Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You matter. Your stitching matters. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of joy. You are worthy of safety and security. And you deserve to be able to stitch and do something that you love. Don't let anyone ever take the joy of stitching away from you, especially during these troubling times. Because I'll say it again, you matter. Sending you lots of love. Thank you for spending time with me this week. I appreciate you. Take care and happy stitching.